Lori, can you hear me?
I did. Yes.
I saw your face. I love it. Lori, you've done the who worksheet?
Right.
Okay. Tell me about your who. Who is your who?
Okay, my who is women in recovery from drugs and alcohol addiction who are not thriving in recovery, and they're addicted to other things like sugar, food, other addictions that are coming up. So that's my who.
Okay. Women, recovery, struggling with other substances, such as
food, sugar, sex, men,
shopping.
Gambling.
Okay. All right. What else? Is that it? That's pretty much it?
That's it.
Okay. So Lori gave us 4 criteria about her who. How many guys think that's pretty good? Pretty good. She's done some work. How many guys think she's done some work? She's done some work. How many guys think that there's a whole nother level here? Now, Lori, before I start to work with you on this, before I called on you, how locked in on your who are you? How locked in on your who did you think you were before I called on you? Out of 10. 10 out of 10. How locked in do you think you were?
8.
8. So Lori thinks she's at an 8. Okay. Now I'm going to help Lori right now. And then we're going to check back in with Lori to see where she is now and where does she need to be. First of all, let's do this. Okay. Whoops. All right. There's a nice flow going on in here. All right, guys. And guys, if you think I'm just hot seating Lori, you're missing the whole point. Play along at home with us. This is not about Lori. Don't watch Lori. I'm talking to you, Craig. I'm talking to you, Peter Field. To you, Jay Moore. I'm talking to you, Sharon Prowl. I'm just talking to you through Lori because she was courageous enough to say, pick me. And then when I picked her, she was second guessing her courage. Okay. Women. That's gender. We have a gender criteria. Okay. 2. In recovery. That's an important detail, right? In recovery. 3. Struggling. That's another dimension. 4. With other addictions. Okay. And that's it. And Lori gave herself an 8 out of 10. Okay. That's cool. I love the honesty. Guys, let's talk about women. Is there just one kind of woman? How many different types of women are there? Like, that's a weird question, right? How can we niche down on women? We have single women. You've got married women. You've got women that have kids, women that don't have kids. You've got women that have careers. You've got women that don't have careers. You have women that are a certain age. You have women of different faith backgrounds. You have women of different financial backgrounds. You got women of different physical health, fitness levels. You got women that live in different cities, counties, states. Shall I go on? Just with women? How many more of these can I do just with women? Okay, Pedro, what's your point? In recovery. In recovery from what, Lori? Because last time I looked into this a little bit, I've done a little bit of work in recovery. I was part of I used to lead some Bible studies in a men's recovery home. Okay? I know that you can be recovering from alcohol, drugs, porn,
On and
recovery
on.
from like spending, excessive shopping, spending, gambling. How about this one? Pain, Oxycontin, pain pills, weed. Are there other addictions I'm forgetting to mention? Probably are.
Yeah.
What are they struggling with, Lori? They're struggling because they feel isolated. They're afraid of going back. What else are they struggling? What other emotions are they dealing with, Lori? What else? Aside from temptation, might they be struggling financially?
Right.
Because maybe they lost their job. Maybe there was a divorce happened. They have financial strain, maybe. Maybe their faith is strained. So they're struggling. And maybe one of those struggles is other addictions, which could be, you said sugar, right?
Yeah.
Sex, porn, gambling. What else? Spending,
Yeah. Codependency.
codependency. Okay. Now, I'm not a mathematician, guys. But how many different combinations between the seven different sub-niches of women, between the 7 sub-niches of recovery, between the 4 sub-niches of struggling, and the other 6 sub-niches of this, how many possible iterations are there of 4 to the 7th power? Can someone do the math for me? Who's smart with math? What's 4 to the power of 7? As I think what that calculation is. I have an econ degree, not a math degree. What's 4 to the power of 7? Who could tell me? For some Crush It credits. I probably shouldn't have said that. I don't even know how that works.
Thousands.
How many?
Thousands.
I know, but who can give me a number? Guys, come on. Virginia. Virginia saves the day. Screen number 2 in the blue and white striped shirts. Virginia, all the way from the UK. On screen 2, guys. Can you unmute my friend Virginia? And they're coming to you, Virginia. This is, 16,000. 16,000. Give it to me again, Virginia. 384. Let me come back to my friend Lori. Lori, did you know? Were you aware that there was still another 16,000 plus available options for sub-niching that you had not yet considered?
Yes.
No, you weren't aware, but are you aware now, right?
I was trying to niche down, so I was only going to target women who were in recovery from drugs and alcohol.
Right. Okay.
And focus on nutrition.
Oh, okay. But Hi, guys. How many of you guys remember, did Lori mention nutrition in our first conversation?
No.
Did she mention drugs and alcohol? Okay, so we're getting a little bit, okay, all right, Lori, what else? So drugs and alcohol. You said nutrition? What about nutrition?
Okay, so in 12-step recovery,
what about
women,
nutrition? What about nutrition? You mentioned nutrition. What's that about?
Nutrition is the missing link that's not being addressed because a lot of these people are in recovery, but they haven't got their nutritional support, their bodies.
Okay, but that's part of your offer.
Right.
That's part of your offer. But as far as the niche, are you seeing how there's at least 16,000 combinations of different parameters? Women. You've got some work to do, Lori, with women. Do you want to talk to women in your backyard, in your county, in your city, in your state, or in, where are these women? Where? Do you want to meet, if COVID was gone, would you meet in person? Do you want to talk to single or married women? Do you want to talk to mothers or women who don't have families yet? Are these working women, or are these women that are primarily in the home? Are these women over 40, over 50? Are these women in their 20s? Right? Are these women of faith, or does that matter? So do you see what I'm saying, Lori?
Yeah.
So now, Lori might be thinking, how many of you guys are seeing just what's possible when it comes to really taking this niche thing seriously? Guys, I need you to, I don't need you to do anything, actually. I'm good. I know how to niche down. If you want to crush it with challenges, if you want to make massive impact, if you want to actually get in momentum and get started and get rolling, you're going to have to do this. The people that have run challenges, the only people who have actually tried to apply my challenge framework and didn't have success, you know why they didn't crush it? They were not willing to pick a niche. They tried to do a challenge for too broad of a group, and it didn't catch. It didn't catch. How many of you guys know what rapport is? Rapport. How many of you guys know people that from the minute you met them, you just liked them, you connected, there was immediate chemistry, and you could talk for hours like they were your college best friend? Show me some emojis if that's ever happened to you. And how many of you guys know people that no matter how long you've known them, you sit down and talk to them, it's like pulling freaking teeth to have a conversation? Okay. Part of the secret sauce of challenges, guys, is creating rapport. When? As fast as possible. How do you create instant rapport? You get like-minded people together. How like-minded? As much as possible. Oh, you have a dog? I have a dog. Oh, you're married with kids? I'm married with kids. Oh, you like CrossFit? I like CrossFit. Oh my God, huh? And now they're lifelong best friends because they have 3 things in common. And you'll never be able to put these folks in close enough proximity if you don't do this. Now, you're like, Pedro, there's 16,000 options. I won't be alive long enough to test all of them. So how do I know which ones to pick? That should be Lori's next question. Was that your question, Lori? Here, let's unmute Lori again. Screen 3. Okay, hold on a sec. So how many of you guys are thinking, okay, Pedro, you proved your point, 16,000. Now I'm feeling overwhelmed. What if I pick wrong? Oh my God, there's too many options. Oh my God, Pedro, there's too many options. I'll never know my who. No, wrong. All I'm showing you this is to get you to realize that most of you, even if you think you're at level 8, like Lori did, and Lori, I'm not picking on you at all. You've done a great job. All right, you've got 4 levels deep. Some people I call upon, I can't even have this discussion with, Lori, because they haven't even given me enough to work with. So you're doing a great job. You're on the path. So I don't want you to feel like you're like, I'm just working with you a little bit because you gave me a great start. But guys, how many of you guys, so Lori, of all of these different veins and angles, and it's almost like a river has these different little offshoots. Of all these different little paths we can go off the main path you gave me, do you have a sense for which ones are jumping out to you the most?
I do.
Okay, highlight some for me. What, when you see all these things here, highlight some that really are a hot button for you.
Okay, so I'm a woman that's been in recovery for 20 years from drugs and alcohol. And I've worked with many women, different ages, all different backgrounds like you've listed. And so my who is...
Can I stop you real quick? Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Okay. How many of you guys have this same problem? Pedro, I haven't heard a problem yet. Yes, there's a problem. It's a high quality problem. it's still a problem. Pedro, I've helped so many people. Old women, young women, single women, divorced women, widows, tall, short, skinny, heavy. I've helped everybody. High quality problem. That means that Lori probably has an actual really good process. The problem is she's now concerned about, well, how do I niche here? I don't want to leave anybody out. Pedro, I don't want to just help single women. I've helped some of my best, some of my favorite case study is a married woman. Am I going to leave her out? Am I going to ignore the married women? Possibly. So let me ask you a question, Lori. Here is the magic question. When you look back on the results you have created for people, honestly, when you honestly assess your greatest success stories, the people that have had the biggest breakthrough working with you, let's look for the trends, Lori. I don't mean the outliers. I mean, is there a pattern? Were they mostly younger or middle aged or older? Was there a pattern around age? Yes or no?
That's a tough question because, addiction doesn't discriminate, right?
Okay. All right. So there's no pattern on age. Let's say no. No problem. Okay. Was there any pattern around being married or single? Well, let me come back to age. If there's no pattern, have you found yourself enjoying working with, who do you enjoy working with?
Yes. Young.
Okay, guys, you see what happened?
There we go.
Did you see what happened? I said, age, do you enjoy? She smiled. Lori smiled. Who do you enjoy working with, Lori? Young. Boom. See, Lori didn't see a pattern. You know why? Because maybe there wasn't a pattern based on the success stories, but how about this pattern? Who do you actually want to work with? Who do you like to work with? Because you have plenty of people that will pay you for what you do. What did I just say? I said there are more people willing to pay you than you can ever fulfill on and serve in a lifetime. So if you knew there was an abundance, which you're going to have to just trust me again and believe me, because there is. So if you came into a dining hall and you saw the biggest, craziest buffet of your life, and you're like, oh my God, like there is more food on this table than I can eat in a lifetime. Wouldn't you walk around that table first and be like, all right, okay, here's the macaroni and cheese, I would walk around that table because you're only going to get full. You only eat so much. So pick your favorite food on the table because there's plenty. There's plenty. So Lori comes alive. Why did you come alive when I asked you about this?
Because it's the young people who are dying, and it's the young people who bring the energy to me that sparks passion and lights me on fire.
Good. Do you think it's probably smart to be in a business working with people that give you energy and light you on fire? Let me give you a big hell yes, it's smart, because there's going to be days you're tired. There's going to be days like the day I had this morning that Infusionsoft didn't send my emails. Then there's going to be a day like yesterday when this bad thing happened. Do you guys know how many things go wrong in my life every single day? Or maybe not wrong, but just not perfect. Every day there's problems. Now they're just mostly really high quality problems, but there's still problems. So guess what? How do you ensure your success? How do you buy an insurance policy that you don't quit? I think you should spend the bulk of your time with people that light you on fire, that give you energy. Now, what does young mean to you, Lori? Is that 30 and under, 40 and under, 20? What does that look like? What do you think? Give me a ballpark.
20 to 30. Okay,
20 to 30. Okay. Tell me more about these women that light you on fire. What, besides their age, what else they have in common? Anything else? Are they married or single?
A lot of them are single.
A lot. By a lot, give me your best guess of a lot. Half, 70, 80?
70% are single.
70% are single. How many of you guys think that sounds like a majority to me? Can I make a suggestion to you, Lori? If it's already at 70, why don't we just make that like 100?
Okay,
Since you're already at 70.
right.
Because what you're not seeing is that shift from 70 to 100 gives you another massive advantage in the marketplace. Because you know who else? Do you know who else is saying that they are showing up to serve single? Are these moms or not? Do they have kids or not, Lori?
Some do. Yeah,
Okay.
some.
When you say some, Lori, is it half? Is it 70, 80, 20? What percentage of them have kids?
Half.
Half. Okay.
Like single moms.
So half have kids or half don't?
Yeah, half have kids.
Okay, half have kids. Okay, so half is not enough. Okay, so guys, look at this. So now Lori is helping single women ages 20 to 30 that are in recovery from drugs or alcohol. Lori, what percentage of them it's just alcohol?
Oh,
Ballpark.
40%.
Just alcohol.
Yeah.
How much
40.
just drugs?
It's so intertwined. Maybe it's 50-50. I don't know.
How many it's drugs and alcohol? It's both.
Oh, 80%.
80%. And guess what? Don't say drugs or alcohol anymore. You're going to say drugs and alcohol.
Oh,
Now that's another distinction.
yes.
Okay. And guys, we're still not even done because guess what? I will tell you this. Somebody who's struggling with eating too much candy is not the same person that's struggling with promiscuity and developing sexual addictions and being abused and being taken advantage of. And I know sugar is dangerous, but it's not as dangerous as that. So Lori, here's your homework. I think you have some work to do here. What is the primary addiction that these women are struggling with after getting off drugs and alcohol? What is the one that you feel the most passion and juice on? Which one of these lights you on fire, Lori? Sugar addictions, sexual addictions?
You know, it's sugar because it connects to the nutrition and it connects to the brain problem.
Okay, great. There you go. Perfect. So sugar, it's a health play.
Right.
There it is. Okay. So don't talk about sexual addictions. Don't talk about spending. Don't talk about don't talk about none of this stuff. This stuff. But Pedro, they have that.
Big.
Huh?
It's too big.
It's too big. It's too broad. You'll never get traction. And Lori, what do you sell? You have this? You must have some supplement or some nutritional product, right?
Right.
So Lori has the what? She has a what sitting over here. Remember the triangle? Remember the triangle? The what triangle? The who? And the what? Lori's what is what is it? Is that a pill? Is it like a supplement? What is it? Just real quick.
It's nutrition. Yeah, it's supplements and food.
Okay.
Meat, food plan.
And supplements plus a meal plan.
Right.
Okay. That's her what? That's what she sells. So we want to sell this. This is how Lori makes money, right, Lori?
Mm-hmm.
Great. So of all of those options on the who, the addiction that directly translates to this, was sugar, food addiction. Right there. So that's going to be part of it. That's going to be the final niche down. It's women, single. Was it 20 to 30 or 30 to 40?
20 to 30.
20 to 30. Food addiction, sugar addiction.
Because the relapse rate when they're on sugar back to alcohol and drugs is really high.
And they were on alcohol. They're recovering from alcohol and drugs. Well, Pedro, what if someone comes along who just was on drugs? Should Lori say no? No, Lori's not going to say no if that woman just shows up. But in Lori's advertising, in her marketing, in her intention that she sets forward on her funnel, what's it going to say? It's going to say, I help women, I help single women, ages 23 to 30, who are recovering from alcohol and drug addictions, who are now presently struggling with sugar dependencies and food addiction. Lori, how does that feel?
Better.
How
Clear.
much better?
Clear. 100% better. But part of me still goes, well, what about the older ladies that are being left behind?
So guys, how many guys know Lori has a big heart? Okay. But what about the 35-year-olds that are being left behind? Are they being left behind? Or is that maybe not someone else's who that we should let them take care of?
Okay.
Is maybe,
You're right.
how many of you guys see that Lori, without knowing it, has slipped into Savior, Messiah complex? I'm here to save every woman on the planet from their addictions. I'm the rescuer. Here I come to save the day. Which, by the way, is very typical of people who have overcome big things in their life.
Yeah.
Can I give you permission, Lori? Can I give you the good news and the bad news? Here's the bad news. You're not the Savior. Here's the good news. You're not the Savior. That's a lot of freaking pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recommend it.
It hasn't made me any money, Pedro.
Oh, now we're having some honest conversation too. What a twisted existence to have this feel called to serve this huge, like, I have to serve all of these women. I can't leave even one behind. And yet I'm struggling and broke financially. Which is limiting. Struggling financially, Lori, is that helping you serve more women or deterring or preventing you from serving as a hindrance? Is it helping you or hindering you?
It's hindering me.
Hindering you. How many of you guys just got at least 1 or 2 or 3 light bulb moments as I talk to you through Lori? How many of you guys realize you could probably hear me do this for another 20 times and it would always, every single time, give you nuggets, give you gold, give you something? Guys, I'm telling you guys, this is the deal. This is what separates winning challenges, winning businesses from struggling entrepreneurs. Willingness to, when you write this down, when I commit to the niche, when I commit to my who will commit back to me.